Once upon a time, she was the worst Void Legendary champion in Raid Shadow Legends, but not anymore. Supreme ATHEL finally got a buff, guys. In today's video, we're gonna take her in for a spin and see if she's really supreme now. I am currently on the test server, guys. I always said that they made the ATHEL a bit dirty, right? Like, the epic version is kinda weak compared to the others. The legendary one even weaker, so I'm glad to see that they finally upped her damage a bit and just her skills in general. The design is awesome on her. Now, they buffed the multipliers. They changed a bit the way the skills work on her. Her base stats are not bad, right? We have pretty good attack, pretty good survivability, good speed. With the A1, attacks an enemy. If there are enemies under a freeze, she will attack them as well. Then, of course, she can decrease the enemy's attack, which is very, very helpful, and increase her own attack. With the A2, attacks all enemies. Now, before the buff, the whole kit was messed up. Now, you're going to place the freeze, and then you're going to attack. And the main idea is that once you have freeze on the enemy, you're going to ignore strengthen, ally protection, unkillable. And you're going to ignore 20% of the target's defense, which is actually very, very nice. I'm going to walk you through the multipliers in a second. With the A3, you buff. So you're going to get increased attack, you're going to get increased crit rate, you're going to get a shield, and you're going to get increased accuracy, and then you're going to gain an extra turn. The more attack you have, the bigger the shield, basically. And this means that we can build this champion with 70% crit rate and get more crit damage, get more attack out of her, or more accuracy, if you are interested in getting that. Attack aura for arena battles, 35%, and the passive has a 15% chance of placing a freeze debuff on an attacker for 1 turn when hit while under a shield buff, and has a chance of placing a freeze on all enemies for 1 turn whenever the shield is removed by damage, which is actually helpful. So, in theory, you kind of want to get some accuracy on her, especially if you're not in the very high tier of arena. I would strongly suggest you to get some accuracy on her because it will be beneficial for her kit. But in the very high-end arena, if you are planning to use her by any chance, let's just say you don't have many good nukers and you're trying to push in gold 5, you might be doing some higher tiers in tag team arena, etc., and you really want to use her, I would suggest you to don't go with accuracy on her. Leaving that on the side, let me just quickly show you the build that I have on her, guys. So I have her on Savage and a Cruel set, guys. Of course, the more defense we ignore, the better. Total stats on my Supreme ATHEL: 39k HP, 7.3k attack, almost 7.4, 2.8k defense, 256 speed. Keep in mind, I have a 3-star blessing, which gives me a lot of HP, attack, and defense, okay? Which makes my life easier when I'm building the champion. 256 speed, only 82 crit rate. I don't need to get 100% crit rate. If you're worried about enemies removing buffs from you, you want to get 100% crit rate, because if you're losing the crit rate buff, you're going to be in a pickle. 313 crit damage. Now, I'm able to give her more crit damage just because I don't need to have full crit rate anymore. And only 183 accuracy. I haven't went for an accuracy build. Masteries, offense and defense, I still went with the right masteries just to show you guys what to get on her if you want accuracy and stuff. Pinpoint accuracy, and you want to go down to lasting gifts just to increase the duration of buffs. You definitely want to get Opportunist, that will increase your damage, and Helm Smasher as tier 6. Now, you can use a different freeze champion and drop the accuracy from her. I feel like a Gurgo would be very, very nice with her in the same team, because he has a chance to remove buffs as well. He might get polymorphed in the process, but who cares about that? As long as she's not getting polymorphed, you know, because that's the main thing. Her not to get polymorphed, so she can actually deal the damage, you know. But how I mentioned, I don't think that she's at the level where she's going to be played in high-end arena. Now, her multipliers are the following. So on the A1, the damage went from 2.7 to 3.5 multiplier, and on the AoE, if you have enemies under a freeze, is going to be 3.0 from 2.7. On the A2, it went from 3.8 to 4.3, and you ignore the defense, okay? So it's definitely a very, very nice change. I feel like Baron's multiplier on his Skypiercer is 4.3, but he ignores 50% of the target's defense. So it's different, But I feel like they're kind of like in the same boat in terms of multiplier. I might be wrong, and Baron might have a bit more than that. I'm not saying she's going to be as powerful as Baron, but I do think she's going to be pretty interesting if you can play her. I feel like she will be better against speed teams and stuff like that, you know. So let's actually give it a go and see what's this team made of. Yes, I do want to be faster, 100%. I definitely don't want to be slower. So let's put block buffs on them with that. Okay, we actually got it on her. So right now I cannot buff. So because I don't have 100% crit rate, that's a problem. You see, that's literally a problem. There's no point in using that skill. So I'm going to have to pray that I will crit on everybody. Yeah, we did it. Freeze, take them down. So that went pretty smooth. But it's not going to be as effective, honestly, against tanky teams. I don't see how we're going to be able to play her against tankier teams. I'll be very honest. So let's just go against these teams. See how it's going to be played out. They have a shield, right? I don't necessarily... Oh, that Warlord. That Warlord is a problem. He's going to lock me right now. Oh, we got resisted. Let's go. If you 3% me, I'm going to 3% you back. There you go, Warlord. That's what you get. That's what you get. You see, we have a nice shield. So right now is basically... What are we going to do against that Duchess? Hit reaction. Resisted. Okay, that's fine. We hit reaction too. And you see... We broke the shield, probably is a big shield, but either way, it's not enough damage. I don't think is enough damage to use her in against tanky teams. If you're going against a speed team, yeah, 100% you can go and get some value, but just in general, I don't think that the buff is that much better. You know, like yes, I feel like she will be nice for Cursed City and other areas like that. I wish that Rotos would have attacked her instead. I don't know why he went for Wukong. But, okay. We're gonna forgive him. We're gonna forgive him. So there we go. We killed UDK with that. That's good. Rotos, what are you planning to do? Get stunned. That's exactly what you're planning to do. Now, when you have immunity on the enemy team and all this, it counters so bad her entire kit, the freeze. That's why freeze champions are so out of touch with the game. But we have Wukong in here in the hope that we're going to remove the buffs. We got polymorphed on him, which is fine. We can buff again. And probably we're going to trigger the passive from Rotos, which is fine. Okay. But we have the freeze on him, which is nice. We still haven't one-shot that Duchess, right? So you're clearly seeing that we have a massive lack of damage when we're talking about tankier champions. I don't think she's that effective against it. But again... We're not putting the freeze on, so we're not ignoring that defense. Because it's conditional. That's the only problem with her. So while they buffed her, and I think she will be better for faction wars, she will be better for some Doom Tower wave control with a freeze and damage for the Cursed City. I definitely do not think that she will be good for Arena. And for Hydra as well, you cannot land the freeze. It's not going to be effective, you know. Okay, that's basically how Supreme ATHEL feels, at least in my opinion. I do have Heathen Cast as a blessing, guys, by the way, in case if you're curious what to get on her. She's already bringing 4 buffs on herself, right? Like, it's a no-brainer you're gonna go with that as a blessing, especially if you're gonna have it to a higher star. But yeah, she can kill the team. I'm not saying she's completely useless, but I don't have very high hopes for her, you know? Like, I just don't think she's strong enough to really deal solid damage. Let me just even see her AI, because I haven't checked that out. Okay. Okay. So Blizzard survived. And I don't even think a Blizzard can be that tanky, you know? Okay, the A1 can put in some work. I never liked these conditional heroes that require either freeze, either something like that, you know. Just imagine, like, you have always the condition of applying something and you cannot do it, and you're just basically missing out of the entire Champions kit because of it. I never liked that idea, you know. I never liked that idea. Can we revive her, please, Arbiter? Thank you. Give her some increased attack in there. Wukong, you be a good boy and don't smack my ATHEL. Don't just smack my ATHEL. Okay. We got them down. So as long as they're not extremely tanky and they don't have a massive shield, it's fine. Because, like this one right here, I'm gonna try to let that Ursaga buff. I wanna let him buff actually. And what I'm going to do in here is bring in more support characters to make sure that my ATHEL, she's not going to die. I want to make sure she's going to stay alive, basically, you know. Now let me actually bring Wukong in here, guys, because I feel like that Sif is going to buff, right? So let's see what we're gonna be able to do. If I put block buffs, the other one won't be able to do nothing, man. You know what? That solves the problem. There we go. That solves the problem. So right now, I need to let him buff, basically, you know. I'm still gonna buff myself and just go to attack that Rotos a bit. That's fine. He's not gonna take us down. Let's protect our Duchess for a second. Come on, Ursaga. Come on, Ursaga. Okay, so we have Strengthen on them. Actually, Strengthen is just on her. It's not on the entire team. I think she ignores that eye protection too, right? On enemies under freeze, but I might be... Yeah. So let's give it a go now. So they have all these buffs that we ignore anyway, as long as we land the freeze. Beautiful. And we one-shot them. That's nice. Okay, so we managed to get those ones down. I'm not sure how tanky they were. I wouldn't expect them to be super tanky, so I feel like I overpowered this team with my gear, honestly. That's another speed team in here, probably. So let's go in like this and see. Yep, that was a speed team. So what can we do? We can do that to him. Kind of expected that to happen. I was gonna say, is she going to kill her? Huh? So now I just revived before, right? So I cannot... Oh, I can still revive. Okay, I wasn't sure if I still have that on or no. Come on. That's sleep, man. That's sleep. Messed me up, you see? And I think Rotos is gonna take her down instead. Okay, so we managed to take the turn. That's fine. We have the shield. Everybody else down. And Rotos, surprisingly, he didn't kill us because we had that shield. And it seems like the shield was pretty thick because we had the increased attack too. So that's nice. I think it calculates the increased attack buff that you're getting on right before it's placing the shield. So that's nice. That's helpful. That's good to know that you're getting a shield that will give you a bit of survivability, you know? Okay. I don't really think that she's going to offer insane value even after the buff. She can deal better damage. She can land the freeze and deal extra damage on top of it. I wouldn't personally use her in any of my arena teams, unlike Miss Annie, for example, you know, which we tested yesterday. But she definitely has a better use than she had before. She's not the worst Void Legendary champion in the game anymore, because she can actually do something. So I'll be honest, I'm still going to build her on my main account. And the reason why I'm going to do it is because I'm going to put her in the Cursed City. I'm sure I'm going to find a couple of stages where she's going to benefit me in there. Doom Tower, Void champions, we have some stages that are for the secret rooms. I'm going to use her in there. She will crowd control, deal good damage, so she will definitely be helpful. And Faction Wars, possibly in the Faction Wars as well. I can't even remember what team I have in here. Okay, so my team is pretty solid already. But let's just say I could replace one of these damage dealers in here and see how she's playing out. Let's actually take Cupidus out too, because he's a bit too OP. And let's give her a go in here. You know, recently used first. Where is she? I have a lot of options personally, but not everybody is in the same situation. So I feel like she can definitely be very, very helpful for a lot of people in Faction Wars. You know, like I see no reason why she won't be very, very helpful in here. You know. Okay. So we have defense down. No second thought, she's going to take them down. Now, she didn't buff, okay? So that's a bit of a problem with her AI in there, because the increased attack would have been helpful, but I guess it's better to have it now, because we decreased the cooldown of the A2 a bit more. So probably she did not use the A3 because of card deal, you know. I feel like that's the main reason why she didn't. She had increased crit rate, increased crit damage, so she had no need to buff. And even without the increased attack, she really smacked the wave. Apologies if you guys are hearing any drilling in the background. I have some people working at the neighbor next door for like the last 25 months, and they're just not finishing, you know. I don't know why they're still drilling, but yeah, every 20-30 minutes they drill something new in there. But there we go. Look at the damage. Actually pretty strong. I don't remember 100% if Errol is with full gear, but either way, 59 seconds. So I could potentially use her in there. No weak hits because she's void, and bringing her own buffs, I feel like she can be helpful. That was all for the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you impressed by the buff on Supreme ATHEL? Do you think she's much better than she was before? Is this a good reason for you guys to unvault her? How I mentioned, these will be the areas where I will use her. 100% I will not personally use her in an arena. But that was all for the video. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.